All right, good morning, traders. Today is November 18th, 2024. My name is John Kerrigan. I moderate the BYOB Trading Room. Thank you for being here. Thank you, everybody out there in digital land. Good morning, Stefan. Thank you. I appreciate your subscriptions. I appreciate you following my channel. Thank you so much, everybody out there in digital land. Thank you. All right, so my SPY pivot this morning, 586.26. Above it, I'm a bull. Below it, I'm a bear. SPY closed with a 2-hour downtrend and 10-minute uptrend. SPY, FNGU, IWM, and QQQ made lower highs and lower lows, closing under bearish crosses underneath the 17 EMAs. So really a deep pullback, what we got. Right on to some of those right on minor support. So we'll see if we're going to get a bounce here or if they're going to go all the way down and test the major support. If major support fails, then the uptrends are over. All right, Diamond Dow made lower highs and lower lows, closing under a bullish trap over the 17 EMA. All of the Fab 5 still in daily uptrends. Gold in a downtrend made an inside day, closing under a bearish trap under the 17. Silver in an uptrend made an outside day, closing under a bearish trap under the 17 as well. UNG in a daily downtrend made a lower high and a lower low, closing inside the bullish trap under the 17. USO in an uptrend made a lower high and a lower low, closing under a bearish trap under the 17. And the US dollar index is starting to, I gotta say, it's looking like it's starting to flag out up there in a bull flag. We'll see. All right, so it closed near the 106.74 area, and I had such high hopes of it making new lows about 3 weeks ago or 2 weeks ago. All right, let's go take a look at some charts this morning. First chart we're going to look at SPY on the 10-minute chart. We're going to zoom in right here. We got the thin yellow 3 EMA up over the 8 EMA. That's the gray line right through here. Okay, so we have ourselves a 10-minute uptrend going into the close. All right, on the 2-hour chart, we have the thin yellow 3 EMA underneath. That's the faster moving average. Underneath the slower one, the 8 EMA right here. Okay, underneath that. So what we have is a 2-hour downtrend. On the daily chart, what we have is a bearish cross. Okay, you can see the faster moving average now crossing over the 8 here. All right, now it's very possible they could rip it back up and pull this thing up out of there and negate the cross. We'll see what happens. All right, so here's price action. Let's put in some anchored VWAPs. You can see right here, there's an anchored VWAP for the high. So the high side of probably immediate price action would probably get us up to 594.21. All right, we'll see what happens. All right, so we gapped down and then we went lower on Friday. All right, you can see here's price action right on top of minor support. That's these peaks right up here. Okay, let me just move this out of the way. All right, so we got these peaks right up here. And you can see, I'll drag it over there. You can see price action spiking down into those peaks. Okay, that's your minor support. Typically, you get like a $1, $2, $3 bounce coming out of there. So we got a low of 584, and we got up as high as 588 in the overnight price action. Whether they continue with that this morning, I think they probably going to want to, double test it. So we'll see. I think we get back up to 588. We'll see what happens there this morning. But anyways, here's price action moving up. On the 10-minute chart, in the pre-market, we did have some ascending lows down here and a W pattern showing up right through here. So this would be the first V right up to that high. Second V comes down to here. This low matches up with that low, and then we were looking to go pop out higher. But they couldn't produce a green candle up there, so they kind of failed. So now they're pulling back. They're going to test the lows again. So we'll see what happens. So on the daily chart, we're right on top of minor support. All right, so we'll see if we can dig ourselves out of here, or if we're going to melt down and go check out the major support area. So there's SPY. We do have big time earnings coming in 2 days, 3 days really. The 18th, 19th, on the 20th, NVIDIA is going to report. We could see price action start to melt up in anticipation of NVIDIA earnings. We'll see what happens. So there's SPY on the 10-minute, on the 2-hour, still got a downtrend. On the daily, we now have a bearish cross. Price action still hasn't broken the uptrend. Okay, if we take the trend line and kind of fan it out right through here, okay, we still have not broken trend. All right, so we're still in an uptrend. We're still making higher lows and higher highs. We're just not moving up right now. Okay, so for the past 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days, we've been moving down. Now we're at minor support. Now let's see if we can bounce out of minor support, or if we consolidate on top of prior consolidation, that would also be bullish. So I'd like to see them consolidate over this and then possibly make their way back up. So there's SPY. All right, so let's take a look at, let's drill down. Okay, again, my SPY pivot this morning, let's go take this and move this down. It was 586.26. And let's try to get a green erases red pattern here. So what do we got here? 586. 20, we were looking for 26. Right about there. Okay. All right. So if price takes out this red candle high, that's green erases red. So the first entry this morning for green erases red is 587.28. Okay. There's your first green erases red over the pivot. On the south side, all right, we have, let's duplicate this. On the south side, we got red erases green. So if we have red erase all this green right here, so I would want anywhere below 584.89. So 584.89. That's the game plan this morning. Below 584.89. We're going to play to the short side. Above 587.28. That's a play to the long side. All right, we already have a 10-minute uptrend. All we need is a green candle. Okay, as long as it's not a doji candle, and as long as it's not a topping wick candle that has more wick than body and tail. Okay, so we already have a 10-minute uptrend. We can play this to the upside as long as we don't have a red candle, or we don't have a doji or a topping tail candle, topping wick. All right, so there's SPY. So there's the game plan for this morning. All right, so now let's take a look at QQQ. QQQ on the daily chart kind of did the same thing as SPY, right into the minor support right here. Okay, again, that's this area. Let's see if I can drag this up over and squeeze it in. Okay, let's try to get this going. And let's move it up. You see, here's price action. See these wicks up here, or this price action at the top of the consolidation. Price action in on the minor support. Price action for QQQ. Again, lower high, lower low, gap down, same thing as SPY. And gap down, lower low, lower high, closing underneath, bearish cross. That's the 3 crossing over the gray line. Okay, bearish cross. Underneath the 17, that's these green dots turning to red right there. So price action pulling back to minor support. Still in an uptrend. All right. Not till they break the lows here will they be in a downtrend. Okay. Price action for QQQ. Just not looking good. Still in an uptrend. Just not moving up at this time. So there's QQQ. Let's take a look at IWM. Same deal. Same deal. Okay. Lower high, lower low. Closing under the 17. Under the bearish cross. See the cross? 3 crosses underneath the 8. Okay, so IWM, same thing. Also, probably close to minor support. Yep, you can see it right there. Right here, coming down, tagging, little minor support. Maybe they bounce out of there. We'll see what happens. Maybe they linger for a day and then rip up. We'll see what happens. All right, so there's IWM. Let's take a look at FNGU. FNGU back in the minor support again. See the wicks up here? There's the price action making contact with the minor support. Price action for just like QQQ, all right, and IWM, lower high, gap down, lower high, lower low, closing under the bearish cross, but over the 17, still in a daily uptrend, okay, until they take out these lows. All right, still in a daily uptrend, just not moving up. All right, so there's FNGU. Let's take a look at Diamond Dow. Diamond Dow also into, see that? See the tail action right there, right into minor support, right up there. Price action for Diamond Dow, okay? Lower high, lower low, closing under a bullish trap, okay? The 3 didn't cross yet, but it's going to cross today if they continue going lower. So Diamond Dow closing under a bullish trap, but over the rising 17 EMA. Still hasn't made a lower low. All right, price action gapping up from here. See price action, if it takes out this low, it'll be in a downtrend. Okay, so Diamond Dow still in an uptrend. Here is a prior all-time high anchored VWAP, and price is still over that prior all-time high anchored VWAP right there. So Diamond Dow still bullish, still in a daily uptrend. All right, just not moving up right now. Same thing with SPY, QQQ, IWM, FNGU, all of them doing the same thing. All right, it's like the Macarena. They're all doing the same dance. All right, so there's Diamond Dow. Let's take a look at our technicals. T2122. Price action, okay. Bears threw us out of the seller's chop zone right into the sell zone, making the bulls uncomfortable down here. Bears camped out in here like they did over here when the bulls camped out in the bears buy zone. All right, well now the bears are camped out in the bull sell zone. All right, so they stayed down here and just consolidated all day on Friday. Okay, let's take a look at T2123. Here's price action dropping through that rising 200 SMA. Like to see price action recover that. Hopefully we don't put in a rubber band candle and then recover. I'd really like to see them recover that sooner than later. Okay, anyways, price action, you can see red from the beginning of the day down to the end of the day. All right, so we're still in the upper third. That's still bullish, okay? Upper third, upper quadrant is still bullish, hanging out in the upper third, T2123. Now they did a 1, 2, 3 tries up here to produce a higher high. So we'll see how low they want to take it. Maybe down to the midpoint, maybe down to the lower third, maybe to fill gap. We'll see what happens. T2123. We're going to stick with the 2-hour time frame, all right, to get our direction most of the time. Price action, still bullish. Again, put in 3 red candle bars on Friday. Okay, nothing bullish there, but up over the rising 200 SMA, all right, and staking into the upper third. So we like that. So there's price action for the 3-bar chart on T2123. Let's take a look at FNGU, price action for Friday. Red from the beginning of the day to the end of the day, just on a bash selling all day, all the way into the minor support, still up over the uptrend line, still up over the all-time high anchored VWAP, that's the pink line, all right, still in bullish territory up here, all right, but if we start breaking major support, okay, then we'll be in downtrends and no longer bullish, probably close to neutral at that time. So there's FNGU. All right, let's take a look at a few sectors. We'll start off with the first sector. We'll start off with precious metals because they're getting walloped with this high dollar. Gold in a downtrend. Why is it in a downtrend? It made a lower low right here. Here's the low. We made lower lows. Gold's in a downtrend. Price action for gold on Friday. Higher high, inside day. Lower high, higher low, closing under a bearish trap, under the falling 17 there. Okay, making a lower low. Gold now in a downtrend, but still up over the midpoint. So we'll see where it wants to go. All right, maybe if we get some weakness in the dollar, that would help. We'll see. Silver's still in an uptrend. If they break this low, they'll be in a downtrend. They came within pennies of breaking it. They have not done it yet. Price action for silver yesterday, looking like outside day. Let's see what we got. Just double check it. Low, 51. Low, yeah, outside day. Higher high, lower low, closing under the bearish trap, under the falling 17 EMA. Okay, so there's silver refusing to go into the downtrend in the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. Okay, so there's silver still in an uptrend and trying to fight off that possibility of being converted into a downtrend. So there's silver still in an uptrend there. All right, let's take a look at energy. Start off with UNG. UNG still in a downtrend, making lower highs and lower lows. That's a downtrend. UNG price action for Friday. Okay, lower high, lower low, closing inside a bullish trap over the rising 17 EMA. So UNG kind of putting up a fight, trying to hold the higher ground up here, looking to fight off this downtrend on the daily chart. So there's UNG, price action for that. Okay, so remember, this was a new all-time low made about 10 days ago right there. See on that red candle where I got the crosshairs? Right there. That was an all-time low for UNG. Let's take a look at USOs, petroleum crude oil. All right, price action yesterday. Okay, crude oil in an uptrend still because they took out this high over here. Okay, but not moving up. Okay, so USO in an uptrend, but definitely not moving up. If they take out this low, and they are close, okay, see this little tail down there, they take that out, they'll be in a downtrend. USO, price action, definitely not moving up. Lower high, lower low, closing under the bearish trap, under the 17 EMA. So there's USO. Let's take a look at SMH. All right, SMH. Let's see which candle's which. All right, this is Friday's candle right there. This other one with the tail down there. Price action this morning, not looking good at all, okay, for SMH. All right, so here's SMH. Lower high, lower low, closing under the bearish trap underneath the 17 EMA. Okay, price action, closing under the all-time high anchored VWAP, not too good. Closing over the midpoint, not bad. That's, it's good, but it's not great. I like it when it's in the upper third or in the upper quadrant. So there's SMH having a pullback to the all-time high anchored VWAP. Okay, SMH making a lower low, now in a downtrend. It wasn't an uptrend, making higher highs and higher lows. Now they just took out that low, so now they're in a downtrend. There's SMH. Take a look at XLK. Things flipping from uptrend to downtrend. Not liking this. All right, XLK still making higher lows and higher highs. Still in an uptrend. Up over the all-time high anchored VWAP. Like that. That's bullish, okay? Still making higher highs and higher lows. That's also bullish. Closing under the 17, not so bullish. Closing in the upper third, upper quadrant, that is bullish. So it's kind of a mixed bag here so far on XLK. That's technology. SMH up over the midpoint was bullish, right? That was bullish, but like it in the upper third and upper quadrant. Okay, but price action not looking good. They're in a downtrend, all right? So there are some bullish remnants still left in SMH in the fact that they're still able to hold the midpoint up here. Okay, let's take a look at XLF. Financials, wow, no melting going on there. Moving up, holding the higher ground. Love that. XLF up over prior all-time high anchored VWAP because that's the all-time high there. Okay, that's bullish. Hanging out in upper third, that's bullish. Up over this rising 17, that's bullish. Everything's still bullish on the financials. Okay, XLI. All right, XLI, that's an all-time high for industrials right here, that green candle right there. Okay, price action up over two prior all-time highs, anchored VWAPs, that's bullish. Hanging out in the upper third, that's bullish. Making higher lows and higher highs, that's bullish. Things still bullish about XLI, just not moving up right this time, just kind of resting, pulling back. So XLI, still bullish there. Okay, let's take a look at XLU. XLU, we don't expect to be bullish because this is a defensive sector. All right, if this thing starts spiking, it's kind of telling us we could have a recession in store for us. We don't want that. We'll see what happens, all right? Price action for XLU, all right, still in the upper third, actually up in the upper quadrant, but underneath two prior all-time high anchored VWAPs and in a downtrend because it broke this low and made a lower low, so that puts it in a downtrend. If they take out the high, they'll be back in an uptrend. The SPY's fallen already. All right, so there's XLU right there on the daily chart. Still bullish, just in a downtrend, but hanging out in the upper third. All right, let's take a look at XRT. All right, so here are the retail sector. Moving up, holding the higher ground, that's bullish. Up in quadrant 4, that's bullish. Up over the rising 17, that's bullish. Making higher highs and higher lows. Still bullish on the retail sector. So still bullish on the retail sector, still bullish on the industrials, still bullish on the financials, still bullish on the technology. All right, SMH kind of losing its characteristics, its bullish characteristics at this time. Let's take a look at last one, IYT. Here's our transports. Transports moving up, holding the higher ground, bullish. Okay, up over the rising 17, bullish. Up over a prior all-time high anchored VWAP, that's also bullish. Okay, so everything's still looking good on the transports like that. All right, so we still have quite a bit of bullishness left in this market. All right, just saying that we aren't moving up right now, but there's still a lot of bullishness left in the market. So there's IYT. Let's take a look at our economics package. All right, so here's our economics package. This would be Friday's candle, this red one at the end of all these green candles. Okay. Price action closed around right there, 104, 106.75 right there. Okay, with a little bit of a lower high, all right? Notice these candles made higher lows and higher highs. We got a lower high and a lower low. So good chance we probably flag out to the right here. Okay, so if you're in gold and silver, probably a good time to play a spread on gold and silver if the dollar is going to bull flag right here. Okay, so think about a spread for gold and silver. While this figures out, while it's at a point of resistance, all right, chances are gold and silver will move sideways and not move anywhere, where you will gain money just by selling calls or selling puts, all right, in the fact that price action for gold and silver is just going to consolidate over to the right, just like the dollar probably is expected to consolidate over to the right. So we're looking at the dollar starting a bull flag right here. Okay, so there's the U.S. dollar, very strong. We don't want a strong dollar. Strong dollar makes our goods and services more expensive. All right, when they're more expensive, we don't sell as much. So that's less on the top line, okay? And then it makes it harder for management because now they got to keep a high bottom line in order to keep that high stock multiple, all right? Especially from the earnings, all right? So they got to convert those revenues into earnings. All right, on the earnings report. Okay, let's see what we got today. Today is Monday, okay? So we got Trip.com. All right, not even over a billion, not even $1 billion. Okay, so nothing but familiar names. All right, today, nothing that's going to move the markets. Okay, on Tuesday, kind of slow. I'm clicking it, but it's not working. Not too good. Oh, there it goes. All right, tomorrow we got Walmart, $677 billion. Yeah, that's capable of moving the markets tomorrow morning. Lowe's Corporation, $152 billion. Yep, that's capable of helping Walmart, all right, especially in the retail sector. Medtronic, all right, is $112 billion, all right. So a couple of big boys reporting tomorrow, not the biggest of the big boys, but Walmart is one of those notables that you want to keep an eye on. Same with Lowe's, not quite as big as Home Depot, but still up there. All right, so going to have some could be some volatility tomorrow morning, especially with Walmart. Okay, everybody knows Walmart. On Wednesday, we've got Nvidia's going to report in the evening. About $3.5 trillion of market cap. That's huge. I think that's the biggest one in the NYSE is Nvidia. We'll see what happens there. That is capable of causing a lot of volatility on Tuesday night, Wednesday morning. Nvidia. All right, so could see price action start to melt up in anticipation of Nvidia earnings on Wednesday evening. All right. So we'll see what happens, all right? TJX, all right, $135 billion. They're going to report Wednesday morning. Remember, NVIDIA is going to report Wednesday night. Palo Alto, $126 billion. They're going to report Wednesday night right alongside of NVIDIA, all right? Target, $70 billion. They're going to report in the morning with TJX and Snowflake. Now, they were a part of, I don't know if they still are, part of the FNGU, all right? $42 billion on Snowflake. They're going to report in the evening along with Palo Alto and NVIDIA, all right? So we'll see what happens there, okay? So Wednesday, probably going to be a main event day, all right? Unless we see some economics, unless I see something on the economic calendar. All right, let's take a look at Thursday. Thursday, we've got Intuit, all right, $196 billion there, and PDD Holdings, $154 billion. John Deere, $107 billion, okay? So PDD and John Deere are going to report in the morning. Intuit, Tech. All the tech seems to report in the evening. Have you ever noticed that? You know, like NVIDIA, Broadcom, all of them, they all like to report in the evening. So Intuit's going to report in the evening. That's tech. All right, so there's some, could see some price action off of those. On Friday, all right, we got nothing really notable here that's going to move the markets. On Monday, what do we got? BHP Group, 131, maybe 132 billion there. All right, and they're going to report. They're not sure when they want to report, whether it's morning or evening. All right, so we'll see what happens with that. All right, so let's take a look at the economic calendar for this week. Okay, for today, housing market index comes out at 10. Goolsby's going to speak at 10. And that's it for today. So really light day today. Let's look at tomorrow. Housing starts and permits, 8:30 tomorrow. E-commerce retail sales at 10. Light day today, light day tomorrow. For Wednesday, what do we got? MBA mortgage applications at 7. Atlanta Fed business inflation expectations at 10. Petroleum report at 10:30. Typical every Wednesday at 10:30. Not much happening Wednesday. All right, so let's take a look at Thursday. We got jobless claims, 8:30. Philly Fed manufacturing, 8:30. Another Fed speaker, that's a new one, Beth Hammock. Existing home sales, 10 o'clock. So we just had, didn't we have home sales? Housing starts and permits, all right, so housing market index, all right, so we got existing home sales comes out at 10, leading indicators at 10, quarterly services survey at 10, gas report at 10:30, and Fed Speaker Hammock's going to speak again. All right, so it's not Mr. Powell, so he's about the only one that's capable of moving the markets. So looking like a really light week this week on the economic data. And I think the highlight of the week, or the main event, is going to be Wednesday night with NVIDIA. Look at Friday, PMI composite flash. All right, 9:45, consumer sentiment at 10. There you go. Okay, so really light week on the economic data. All right, so nothing really here that's going to really move the markets. Nothing that's going to help us, nothing that's going to hurt us. All right, so it looks pretty calm for the economic data. The big ones are going to be Wednesday evening, all right, when this guy reports right here, okay? So that's going to be like the main event, Wednesday night. All right, let's take a look at Max Payne. Max Payne is 595. It was 580. Oh, there's 586. 595 is Max Payne. Put to call ratio does not reflect it. Only one put to each call, and that's regarding the puts and calls that expired today. Max Payne 595. I don't think we're hitting it, but I don't have any objections if it does go there. All right, just saying, I welcome that. All right, so there we are with Max Payne. So that's it for the economic. All right, that's it for the economics. Like I said, I gave you guys the marching orders this morning, or the game plan on the SPY. All right, here's the SPY. The game plan was, just review it, okay? Okay, the pivot's 586.25. The first green erase is right over that red bodied candle right there. That's 587.28. Okay, the first red erase is green is 584.84. Okay, so we're kind of bouncing around here between that entry and that entry. All right, so below that, I'm a bear. Above that, I'm a bull. Probably waffle around over to the right. We'll see what happens. Again, on silver and gold, just a possibility. Silver getting racked up here. We'll see what happens with that. Because the dollar entered a bull flag, I'm picturing nothing but probably consolidation over to the right in silver and gold. So I expect the dollar to be in a flag probably for about a week, maybe even 2 weeks. All right, so if you want to try to make some income off of selling time, all right, think about silver and gold, maybe put spreads, call spreads. It's still bullish, so I'm kind of leaning more towards put spreads, all right, only because the dollar's going to probably be stuck in a bullish flag, and it looks like it's starting to make one. So probably for the next week, I don't expect too much more out of the dollar. All right, so that's it, traders. All right, I'll come back at 45 minutes. If you have questions, post them in the room. Be happy to answer them. All right. And until then, I'll see you guys in about 40 minutes to get my video rendered.